How is
Yeah.
Gen Z in naval special warfare?
Simon Sinek wrote a book, Leaders Eat Last, is one of my favorites. And in it, he talks about these generational differences and how important it is as leaders to evolve to be relevant to these next generations. So my observations with Gen Z, very high EQ, very impressive. They have a low tolerance for abuse of authority. They're unimpressed. Some people look at them as you're too disrespectful, like you don't value the hierarchical structure that we've put in place. I don't see it as that, actually. I think it's that they're, and in a sense, we're almost slowing them down as a military. Some of the things I did notice that are negatives, to quote an Italian soft guy, they don't bruise well. Some of them were helicopter parented, I think, growing up. They don't handle failure well. When they fail at something, sometimes they emotionally crumble, and we saw candidates do that. They've got a lot more courage to stand up to authority than any of us ever did. Let me give you an example. We had this young guy in Buds. He had a mistake out in town, and so he was gonna come before me as the CO board. And like we talked about, every candidate writes a letter. It's their last appeal. I read it before we bring him in and then question him and make our decisions. But the title of his letter was Fear No Man. So already I was like, what's this guy's deal? So my CMC, Dave Hansen's like, hey, yo, let me put some rounds across this guy's bow. Let's try to rattle him. Let's find out what this is all about. Is this ego? So dude comes in, sits down, and my CMC's just letting him have it. If we had a pulse oximeter or whatever it is, I don't think his pulse would have jumped one beat. Dude just sat there and took it. He was like, hey, I don't think I made a mistake. Here's what I did. Here are the facts of my case. I stand by it. I regret that we're in this room and we found ourselves here, but I stand by my decisions and what I did and my choices. We're like, this guy's impressive. The last question I asked him, I said, hey man, I have a question for you. You wrote Fear No Man. Right now, I've got all the authority in the world to let you continue on in your dream of becoming a Navy SEAL or end your career right now and move on to something else. Do you fear me? And without skipping a beat, this dude leans forward. He goes, no, sir, but I respect you. That's Gen Z in a nutshell.